All right. We get to start with the white pieces, and interesting. Definitely wondering what the setup is going to be, but based on this, I can say black's not likely to play d5. So this is looking a little bit more like a c4, bishop e2 type of position than bishop d3. So I think I'm going to stick with that. c4 here. I think we'll still play it, yeah, even though it's pawn there. Bring the knight out. Okay, so I know it's a bit weird, but basically without the b pawns, like excluding the b pawns, we just have the exact same position we normally do. So seems all right. Here, wonder about bishop takes on f3. I feel that that's probably going to happen. Taking this way is fine, keep the two bishops, but it does seem like if we can prevent it, that might make a lot of sense. Maybe knight here, for example. Just remove the knight from that. Okay, here we'll certainly play a5, I think. The knight looks like it has to go to a square that's not very good. Certainly not desirable. Let's put our rook on b1 as well. Okay, now this knight looks like it's starting to enjoy itself on that square. We do have queen a4 there. Should we put this bishop here or here? I'm also looking at d5. Wonder if this is a smart move or not. We'll see. Definitely c6 makes sense. Now we have to watch this pawn, so I think we're going to play this, but knight a4 is the move I'm trying to get away with. There will definitely be a rook appearing on that square. Let's go ahead and try to get that knight into b6. Could throw in knight b6 right away. Don't see why not. Don't see why not. Okay. That seemed unnecessary. Could have just moved the queen. The knight's got to go to c8 now, I would assume. And maybe pawn takes. Still keeping that bishop locked out there. Yeah, we don't even, I mean, this doesn't even work, so we don't even need to pause there. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the bishop on a8 is also, I mean, it's almost like you're down a piece just from the bishop on a8. And yeah, he is going to go for this move anyway. I think moving the queen anywhere will be sufficient. Let's choose this square. And then yeah, rook takes b6 next. Yeah, there were no b pawns on the board, so it became immediately obvious that, you know, it was definitely in our interest to put a rook on the b file, and that's why he played rook b8 as well. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna make sure there's an escape square here for myself. It's not 100% necessary, but I think it makes sense. I like this because I think I'm threatening to just take on c8 and go rook b8. And we're obviously stopping this pawn as well. But yeah, I really like this idea because it just seems like it simplifies. We also get this one, and then we get this one. King on a light square, and we've got all our pieces on light squares here, so feeling pretty good. I'll just go here and take it. All the pieces are on light squares, so it's kind of impossible to lose these ones. GG. And we get the first win. Certainly not in a more traditional Zukertort, but you're going to face lots of opponents. You're going to face lots of openings where they don't commit d5. And in all of them, where there's only a pawn on d6, it just doesn't make sense to full commit your setup for a knight e5 position because you're not getting it. So, as I've said many times and displayed many times, I prefer to go bishop e2, c4, and knight c3 like that. And we did exactly that here. The only caveat is that there's no b pawns. Usually there's b pawns on the board in this type of position. So the one adjustment we made was, yeah, to put a rook on the b file. Okay, they're sending us another 1700, and this one we get d5, and I'm actually starting to wonder, like, is he playing our opening? Kind of looks like it. It's also playing very quickly. Okay, we see c6, which means the knight's probably not going there. Okay, b5. These moves, truthfully, don't look fantastic. I think we're gonna go here, and then knight in, followed by f4. Okay, definitely the c5 move is coming. Whether or not this pawn is hanging, I think this is the only plan that our opponent has. So I certainly expect it. Now we have to be a bit ready here, because if we go rook here, I think this move is happening, and all of a sudden knight e4 becomes a real possibility. Same thing with g4 and g5. The knight is going to appear there. So somehow we need to be a bit prepared for that. We may need to play c3 in this one. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we need to start with queen f3. Okay, he takes the slow approach to c5, which I think is good for us, because we get to play this one first. Yeah, of course, he's definitely going to do that, but this is better for us. We don't need to waste time with c3 or anything. Obviously, we want a pawn there, so black can't be too happy playing knight e4. We can take either way here. Also, we can take on d7, which is actually starting to look really decent. Take there, and then queen takes on d4, threatening checkmate. I like that. I like that a lot. And then rook d1 we have coming up, perhaps. Goes here. Rook d1 makes a ton of sense. And then obviously taking. So what do we want to do first? Do we want to do rook d1? I'm definitely gonna take. Interesting. He takes with the rook. Queen here attacks both of these, but it can be dealt with. I think we probably need to go here. We can do this, but yeah, this check is a little bit annoying, so I think we're gonna do this one. Rook g1, rook d1 are the ones that come to mind here. Gain some time attacking this. Not sure. Maybe I'll just go here. bishop f8. So he's tucking the bishop in. I wonder how we add pressure to this pawn. I think I'm just gonna like stabilize here. Maybe c3. We have this pawn, we can move up the board. Just kind of making these slow moves here. I'm not sure that's the one, but he's a very, very quick player. You can sort of tell. So we have to try to break in here. We're going to be up some, you know, small amount of material, one single pawn. It's not much. Rook a7 can't be played. So I guess we take there, we go e4. Well, he can't take. Okay, well, he's down 2 pawns here, so I assume this is losing. I think we just give up the 1 pawn and that should be enough. Get our king in front. Put our queen back there. GG. It's always easier, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys share this opinion, but I really think once those rooks get traded, the endgame becomes so simple. Now, he made it even easier by trading all the pieces. But something I find that, okay, I guess you could say lower rated players, but I wouldn't say that, you know, 800s, 1000s, 1800s do this all the same. But still, unless you're like a very, very experienced online player in terms of flagging, like a minute 45 to 20 seconds here, you're probably going to make the mistake of trading. A lot of people just simplify the position. They think that it gets them closer to a draw, but it actually gets me closer to a win. It almost guarantees the win. As soon as I see this move, now I'm up a pawn. I can put all my pawns on light squares. There's dark square bishops. It becomes so easy and so easy to pre-move. With the rooks on the board, if he just plays this, gets an open file and just brings the rook down, at least I'm dealing with checks. It's much, much worse. So I never understood why, for example, this happens. And then he's like on a mission to trade the other piece. I don't think he played that well. His opening was really bad. And he put himself in a position where he's just getting attacked so brutally. He's basically lost that he kind of had to give up that knight in the middle. Or rather, give up the pawn. You know what I mean? And so, right off the bat, we're just in a position where the game's kind of over. Right out of the opening. So, turned into a much longer conversion on our part. But yeah, I would say this is basically a win already. We're not even at move 20. So... no, not a very good opening. This is a dream. If you get this opening from the Zukertort, you should be laughing. Prevent the knight from going to e4. There's no knight on c6, so you're not worried about knight b4. Our center's not even attacked yet. We have the knight in the middle anchored. We're clearly playing g4, g5. I mean, this is a dream. Okay, hey, we see e5. Let's see how it does for him. Okay. Seems like he's picking a move that one of our previous opponents did, where, you know, you take, and I can't remember if it's queen f6 or something, but that seems very familiar to me. Bishop there. Yeah, for some reason I'm feeling like queen f6 is a move. Wonder what the like easiest way to play is, that you just Nothing too bad happens to you. The best opening for black. Hey, I agree. When played well, truly the best opening for black. Unstoppable, obviously. Yeah, I definitely wonder about this. So we may as well play it. What's up, J-Rec? Yeah. Feeling like capture makes a lot of sense. I'll go here. He might get his pawn back, but I can live with that. I would say queen e6 does make sense. I could tell that was the move that he was slowly leaning himself towards. I understand it. What can we do? Maybe just get developed, play e3 next. Doesn't look like there's any threat down there, at least right away. Bishop needs to move, probably just here. 94, we can castle, and then I think it's just putting a rook on the d file that needs to happen. We do have that extra pawn here, and this doesn't look particularly scary because we can just go rook d1. This one is hanging, but I just thought, okay, let's develop here. I'll try to be a hero. Bishop to f3 certainly looks good. I wish we could play this, but we've got this threat, we've got this threat. We're also planning to double. He covers this and this, so shout out to him. Bishop to f3, probably the move that we could have done instead, just because it would have definitely forced the knight to either move here or not move at all. But how are you going to say that doubling rooks is a bad move? Like, it can't be. And unfortunately, the opening has only just created a pawn down position here. This is a weird one because we can just win a piece here. It's like he didn't count up what we were actually threatening. Thank you. Just a piece. Just a piece. Definitely within the England, you know, a position that does make sense for black compared to some of the terrible ones we've seen. But still, it wasn't even a 20-move game. Reinforcing our idea that you guys got to stop playing e5. Like, it's just not for you. It's not working. All right, d4. Got our setup. I'm gonna go with b3 here. We could go like this, but I think in this case, I'm gonna go with a3. Can go with our bishop here. Interesting. He's just gonna go bishop back. I see no pressure here, so I'm probably in the knight d2 camp. Don't really mind this. And now bishop here means that we're not gonna be able to play knight e5, so I do feel compelled to do it now. Not ideal, but at least we get the moves that we're looking for. Queen e2. Queen here. I mean, I guess we have just king f2 here, and we're just not not the end of the world. B4 is about to happen. It's almost it's almost a move that I would consider close to right away, but yeah, okay, we'll go here. We still have B4 next. This is like a lot of pressure on a pawn that, I mean, yeah, it does need defense, but it seems that both of these moves can be undone with a B4, bishop D4. So no, I'm not happy to put my king on F2, but my opponent's king needs to go somewhere, right? That's not going to be obvious. And I'm not sure that we are actually, like, am I actually losing a significant amount of time here? Because I feel like I'm just getting castled almost normally. And my opponent is kind of going back and forth. Let's take... Okay, so we need to be prepared for that move. It's definitely a move that's going to happen. I do want to play C4, but I'm playing this move because I sort of want to... That's surprising. Let's take maybe C3. This feels very solid here. He can castle kingside, but we still have an attack. We do. Goes here. Let's go A4 just to stop that. I'm really trying to understand what my opponent is up to. Queen H4 seems a little irrelevant. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, he's kind of leaving the king in the middle. He's not ready to commit anything. Which means, okay, knight here. There's going to be definite things for him to defend over there. He's probably going to want to put a knight on F8. That's the best I could see. And I haven't really seen all the way, but I'm hoping that we're able to get a pretty good attack going. So let's do this one first. Just kind of making this up as we go here. Hoping that there's some checkmate down there. I don't know. Here. Guess let's go here and commit to the attack. Because I feel like on rook F8, then I'm just going to bring the queen here, and I'm not sure how he gets out of that, to be honest with you. I'm committed, though. If this attack does not yield a checkmate, then we're completely cooked. Like, then I got nothing. Okay, well, that move doesn't make a lot of sense. Unfortunate. Why not queen G4, queen H4? It's a fair question. If I played queen G4, I didn't like that he could run away. So what I actually wanted to do was make a threat here, so he'd have to defend it and then go to H4. Probably by F4. So if he played what I think is the best move here, queen F4 keeps him tied down, and then it feels like mate's unstoppable. So I wanted to keep the king over where I was mating him rather than let him run away. Because it's clear if I bring my queen here, the guy's obviously going to run away. We got a nice attack there. I like this game because our opponent definitely put some good pressure. Played very normally. Here, even though king f2 looks like a concession, it's the best move on the engine, and white holds an advantage. So I don't regret it at all. And I like this position a lot. Bring the knight to g5, and this just looks pleasant. We got a big attack here. Pawn on e5 is killer. Remember, if he ever takes, we can get the pawn diamond in the middle. Such a big center. Yeah, and this is just too difficult to deal with. Playing chess coach Will. d6. Okay, well, I'm assuming that the bishop's going to go to g7. Maybe it won't, but it's definitely what it looks like right now. Bishop. Bishop g4. Okay, this actually might turn back into a d5 position, so we have to wait and see here. I think I am going to play bishop d3. I almost want to put everything together. First of all, this move really asks for g4. Still not good enough, I think. Knight there. What are these moves? A very weird move. Yeah, we're definitely going to play c4. Our opponent's kind of playing strange, not taking the center. Now with that square covered, I think about g4 a lot more. This makes a ton of sense now. So he's going to go here, but I mean, the queen's not even coming out here. I think I'll still play knight h2, which is a normal kind of defensive move. Bishop f1 trades pieces. Feels like a pretty good idea. We could also play something like f4, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, bishop f1 makes a lot of sense to me. Let's try it. e5. All right. I think we'll take that one. Bring our queen over. Also try to open our bishop. Any kind of queen exchange like this will be fantastic for us. So the knights are no good, but as soon as we bring them into the game, I think this is going to be a pretty nice position. I'll take that. Knight e3, looking at the pawn, probably g6. And then this knight to f1, because I just can't have these knights out of play. Like, the only reason I feel like I have an edge is the knights. So if they're not actually participating, then they're no use. Make way for the knights like this. Figured he would be interested in playing that. Makes a lot of sense. We have to try to get our rook here. I feel like this walks into an unnecessary pin, so. Try to take this. Rook f8 can be played. It's a bit of a weird move. I'm just like making sure. I think we can play this. Just bishop f6 check somewhere as well. They always miss the sniper bishop, don't they? It's just like the TikToks. The classic sniper bishop. We take those. Literally, we take those. Weird game from our opponent because he didn't fianchetto. He didn't. That was what I would expect with a d6 move. So as soon as I saw e6, I could still play this. You would be well within your rights to do so. But I felt there was like elements both of a d6 fianchetto position and of a normal. Like I couldn't be sure he wouldn't play d5. So I think either setup would be just fine here. And yeah, clearly the setup that he chose was not ideal because he ended up needing to sack a piece. And well, that game was really just the game you win because of the material you're up. All right, d4, knight f3, e3. I'll go b3. I'll go with this bishop. Can probably do the knight. I don't really mind this. Yeah, I think we want to play knight here before the I wonder, maybe should we take this? That doesn't make sense. Let's play one position with the pawns like this. We don't even have to. We could take with the knight, but I actually don't really mind them. I've been saying that for a while, and be interesting to actually see what they look like. Because it's really nice that the knight can't use the e4 square. That I do enjoy. So this, yeah, we definitely want our king out of the way. Let's just do it now. I think I mainly played this to play rook d2 on this move. Otherwise, I'm kind of thinking about g4 and g5. Let's try. So if we take here, knight takes f3. Doesn't seem worth it. Definitely feels like we want to take this. This feels like it makes the most sense, but there's also knight takes. I just can't think of like a specific reason why that would be good. I'll try this. Knight there is surprising, but he wants to play, yeah, he clearly wants to play g6 next, so we can understand that. I think we have to kind of permit his move there. It's one of these positions where winning material doesn't always feel good. Just kind of drop this pawn here, but yeah, I think we need to watch over this a little bit. I'm not really seeing the attack there. Okay. That move actually loses material. That doesn't, like, it feels like it should be a good move, but there was material lost there in that moment. Yeah, this is just gonna be game over now. We're up an entire rook. And yeah, a pretty expected conclusion after rook c2. But you know what? I really enjoyed this. I don't think that white has a... Like, I don't think white's supposed to have an amazing position here. Black can come up with some good ones, but if you think about it, the moves made a lot of sense. Okay, rook c2 was a blunder, but I actually didn't mind these double isolated pawns. I know they look a bit shifty, but the knight here ended up being pretty strong, and he never removed it, and we won the game pretty much just from that. Our other idea would be maybe to take and put the knight here and go for f4, but I don't think that's better than this. Well, we got d4. There you go. Right, knight f6. Oh, maybe he's an enjoyer as well. Jump the knight in. We could play f5. Not necessary though, because this guy is protected. You usually get a really good position if you play b5, but if they play a4, I have no way of defending it. c6 doesn't feel good. If I could play bishop here and b5 and c6, that would be a really nice position, but like I said, it's not really happening. So what are we gonna do in this position? Knight c4 is obviously the next move. So maybe we keep the bishop. I definitely don't want to just hand the bishop over to him. Wow, okay. Did not expect that at all. I'm looking at this. I really think this might be the play here. Otherwise, taking would be good, but I think that f4 would fail to queen g3, but let's see. Knight c4, we have b5. Okay. d5. Bishop d4 is always an idea here. I'm actually thinking about this, which is really surprising, because you would never think about that. We can't play this move. Bishop d4 wins our queen, so how much of a problem is that? That's a little annoying. We have to go all the way back. It just doesn't feel good to retreat the queen out. We'll still be doing very well. We have a pass pawn and we're going to win another pawn, but I wish we could have kept the queen in the position there. Okay, definitely don't agree with that, but he's trying to save his pawn, so to some degree I understand. However, his next move just blunders it. Yeah, we just get these pawns going. Rook d8. We should be able to convert this because that pawn should drop, I feel. Do we get back rank mated here? I don't think so. Because no matter what he threatens, we can always cover with this. I mean, that doesn't work anyway, but we would always have rook e8 there. And I would say we at least got a Zukertort type of game in our last one. We haven't seen a lot of d4, so h3 was obviously very strange. I mean, he literally played d4 h3. That, my friend, is not an opening. So it was that h3 move that made us feel like we had the slightly better position. And yeah, I liked what we did here. Queen g5 is, I think, a good move, but I mean, knight f6, taking, everything looked pretty nice here. And we're up to 1803, a new milestone. We'll take that. Thank you for making it to the end of another episode of the Colle Zukertort speedrun. It's definitely one of the easiest attacking weapons to learn in chess, so I hope that this series is making it easier to understand. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on post notifications so you do not miss our next episode.